This is always ready, Matt Cardona, the internet champion, and you're watching the Battleground podcast.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Battleground podcast. I am your host, Battle. Let's go ahead and bring in my tag team partner. Eli is there. We've got everything back to normal now, right? Knock on wood.
Well, I've got this weird swoop thing going on with my beard today. It's kind of weird. But yeah, other than that, we're good.
I mean, you could be like me and look Amish. That's why I have to like hide behind this mic screen over here. But
there's this, I would, trust me.
There's some really cool things happening coming up in Nashville, September 17th, 18th, and 19th. Impact is going to be doing some more TV tapings. And, somebody who is always ready for these TV tapings is our special guest for the day. Give it up for Matt Cardona, the king of the death match, is with us right now.
What's up, guys?
The new king.
Matt, thanks for being on the show. And we'll talk about that belt here in just a little bit, but kind of want to go back to when things started happening for you on the upswing, back to when you got released from WWE. Did you ever envision yourself being one of the most over talents in the biz, also becoming the heavyweight champ of one of the most buzzed about promotions on the planet, GCW? You showed up in AEW, you showed up in Impact, you've shown up everywhere, and you're the most over wrestler right now.
Did I expect that? Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, who gets into this business to just be another guy? I mean, I certainly didn't. Yeah. You can't dictate everything. Not everything's in your control, right? But when I got released from WWE, it was my opportunity to make the most of it and to change the business again. And I think I'm doing that.
For sure.
Is it weird to be surrounded by people that don't tell you no all the time now?
Listen, I don't get everything I want.
When
I go to Impact, Scott D'Amore is my boss. I can't just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But I hate using the term free agent, but I am. So at the end of the day, I can do whatever I want as far as bookings, as far as my podcast goes. So that's been a lot of fun to just, I'm a very creative person, and I'm not saying everything that I do will be a success, because I'm sure there will be a lot of failures. There already has been, but I love the opportunity to at least try.
Yeah. So, obviously there's a ton of stuff going on right now in wrestling. CM Punk coming back, obviously. I mean, your angle with Gage is one of the top stories. I mean, I think a lot of people were caught off guard by it. I don't know if they kind of expected everything to play out the way it has. I mean, what do you think was the wildest part of that whole angle? I mean, was it even coming to fruition was the wildest part, or was there anything in between there? Like,
I'm being me. I'm not turning into this heel or this bad guy. The Matt Cardona and GCW is the same Matt Cardona you see in Impact. It's just like the Impact people love me and the GCW universe hates me. It's still me. So that's the best part about this dynamic, is that, I could do GCW and be hated. I could do these indies and be loved. I could do Impact and be loved. I'm just being me. Love me or hate me, I'm going to be me.
Yeah, it's kind of that's unusual to play the same, be the same person everywhere, but you get the different reactions.
Right.
That's kind of like some 80s flair kind of heat stuff, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so.
And you talk about being an Impact, and we watch it every week, and we've been at the TV tapings, and you shock the world showing up in Impact, because, I mean, you don't want to be called the hottest free agent, but you are the number one guy when it comes to that. And has that, the success outside of Impact, has that helped you focus more strongly on your goals within Impact?
Impact has been awesome. Once I got released, there was talks with me in Impact, but I knew everyone was going there. The Good Brothers were going there. Brian Myers, Heath.
And you didn't want to follow in Brian's footsteps.
Like, oh my God. Listen, it's great. And that show was awesome. Slammiversary was awesome, but I don't want to be another guy, like I said, on the list of people coming in. So I chose to do something else. I did AEW for a cup of coffee just to try something different. But when it was time to go to Impact, everyone was already there. Everyone was already established. And, nobody expected it. And I say always ready. And I really was, because there were no plans to be at that pay-per-view. And the day before, I got a text saying, can you be ready, or can you come? And I said, always ready. I was at the gym getting a pump. I was already tanned, already shaved. So it was just perfect timing.
You were ready to roll.
That's right.
Yeah. Always ready. So, speaking of Slammiversary, we were there. Incredible pay-per-view. You teamed with the lovely Chelsea Green, your fiance. We just got word that you guys will be on Impact this coming Thursday.
That's right. Mixed tag team match, baby.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to working with her more in the ring? Especially in the mixed tag capacity.
Honestly, I don't want to tag with her ever again after
Yeah.
this week. I want to be the Impact World Champion, but I definitely want her by my side. She can be my Miss Elizabeth. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
I
there you
definitely,
Yeah.
and maybe she becomes the Knockouts champ. Maybe we're the power couple of Impact.
Why not?
The mixed tag team thing. Sure, we'll do it. I'm always ready for an opportunity, but I'm not like, oh man, we should make some mixed tag team. I don't want to do that.
You're not
No.
forcing it.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
So Shira, Rohit will kick their asses on Impact, and then that's it. Hopefully, we're done with them.
And see, the Rohit's been on this show numerous times, and I've seen you guys going back and forth on social media, which is kind of great. Is there anybody in that Impact locker room that you're looking forward to working with after you defeat Rohit?
Yeah. Who's the champ right now? Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be Ace Austin after Victory Road.
Ace Austin, I had a little match with when I made my debut. Super talented kid. I would love to wrestle him in a more, I don't know, what can I say? Like a long form match. Like we had a little sprint, baby. But there's so many guys. Sammy Callahan, we worked and we clicked instantly. I'd love to work him again. Moose, a guy like Trey Miguel. There's so many guys. Chris Bay. And yeah, sure, I'll kick Brian Myers' ass again. Why not?
I will say the funny thing about Brian was we were there at the TV taping the night that he won the Battle Royal. Show was over, everything was done.
Guys, I wasn't in the Battle Royal.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
And that was we were kind of shocked that didn't happen.
Yeah,
but
there's a reason Myers won. I mean,
right.
you weren't
That's
in
what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's right. And I think the funny thing about Brian was at the end of the match, like the show was over, still laying there in the middle of the ring, staying full Brian Myers.
He's probably blown up.
Yeah.
I wasn't there to save him. I wasn't there to split the workload with him. Bare minimum Brian's probably blown the fuck up.
Yeah.
We were sitting there and I was talking with Ross and Brian's just sitting there laying still in the ring. Yeah. And I was like, what is going on? I was like, and people were like, okay, you can get up now.
He's more of the weights. He's not the cardio guy. So he gets gassed, pretty quick, so so we have a fan question and part of it's already been answered because of the reveal with the belt, but
is it from Ross?
No, that's I wouldn't. Yeah, he probably is next. But anyways, Matty P24_7. So another Matt here. You are known for belts and the custom belts with the podcast and internet. For WWE. Obviously, we have the answer. You're getting a custom GCW belt made. Who made it? What was the process? Was it an instant? As soon as you won, you're like, I got to do this. Like, what was the process for that?
Yes, instant. As soon as I won, I had to get it done. I usually use Wildcat belts for my belts. I contacted him. He said he could not do it in time. So I was like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
I'm on a time crunch here. I need this for the next show. So I went with Belts by Dan, who was recommended to me by Conrad Thompson. And we worked together within like a day or two. I sketched something up. I was at Disneyland. I sketched something up on like the notepad at Disneyland. I sent it to him. He designed it up. We went back and forth for a little bit. And it was something I needed to get done instantly. But the question is this the new GCW world title or is this the first ever GCW universal title?
That's true. That's true.
Now, do you have any plans to do anything with that old GCW title? Is it just going to kind of sit on your wall or?
Well, no? Listen, I don't have creative control in GCW. I don't have the pencil, baby. But if I did, and I'm fantasy booking here, I would be the GCW world champion and the GCW universal champion. I'm not going to throw it in the trash.
No.
I'm not going to throw it in the ground. I'm not going to spray paint it. Been there, done that. Everyone's done that already, So I will carry that, but I will carry the new, more credible, in my opinion, universal championship.
Nice. Well, and that like belt looks amazing.
It looks, I mean, it looks like it's what we're used to seeing. It's a real belt.
Because I designed it, Velcro and all, baby.
The Velcro was the nice little touch to it. Are you more of a Velcro guy or a snaps guy?
Listen, if the people don't like the Velcro, then I'm the Velcro guy.
Yeah.
Right now, in GCW, I'm the bad guy. But more importantly, Impact, I want to be the Impact World Champ.
And I think that's going to happen.
Listen, I didn't come to Impact to just get merch on shopimpact.com, which, by the way, I do have a new shirt with Chelsea Green available now. But I'm there for the title. And, I know Brian won that Battle Royal, and that match against Christian, it was great. I watched it from the crowd. It was a cool moment, but he didn't win. So now it's my chance.
And, if you look at the past guests on this show that have all been on, they've gone on to win gold after being on this show. We had Chris Dickinson on, and he went on to win tag team titles in his promotion. We had, we had PCO do his thing. Who else did we have? Rohit was on, and he went
Lance
and won.
Archer. Yeah, he won the.
Oh man, when Rohit won that X Division championship, the place went unglued. The fans were just. Oh wait, there was not one response. Nobody cared. There was nobody.
Yeah,
there wasn't even anyone in the building.
Yeah,
but there's
nobody
fans
wanted to see him win the title. Nobody.
He did have some good spots though when we were at the pay-per-view when it was that X Division Ultimate X spot. So that was a good match that night.
He was funny in that match.
But speaking of the TV tapings, now I'm kind of wanting to, I guess, extend the olive branch. Now we had Sammy on. Sammy gave us tickets to the show. We had the Good Brothers on. They gave us 50 tickets to the last TV tapings. Now there's 3 TV tapings coming up in September 17th, 18th, and 19th. Is there anything that Matt Cardona wants to offer up to up everybody else behind them?
I mean you're the world champ,
tickets?
So
yeah.
Hey, listen, I'll match that 50 tickets as long as it doesn't come out of my paycheck. We're all good, baby. So charge like Josh Matthews or Scott D'Amore or Ross, Gail Kim, D'Lo Brown. Charge them. But I'm sure we can make it work.
There was a last name on here that said Myers. I don't know if that's
or Brian Myers.
Yeah.
As long as it
he may be hurting though. We may, maybe we'll go with Scott. Scott's,
I don't think they're hurting much, especially after that PBR deal. I mean, nobody ever really did much with PBR, and all of a sudden it's blown up thanks to you guys. How did that kind of happen?
Well, we're incredible, and brands want to be attached to us because we're the next big thing. But seriously, PBR it's I don't even want to call it like a sponsorship. It's more of a partnership, something that happens so organically. And it's more than just ad reads on a show. We had a commercial on national TV.
Yeah.
And we're continuing the partnership through 2022. We just signed on the dotted line yesterday, and we're very, very excited. And every couple of weeks I get a whole shipment of PBR. So
I saw the fridge. I'm kind of jealous of that.
Yeah.
So
and that's only the stuff I have cold.
Yeah. Jeez, that's crazy. This was another fan question, and I don't know if it's going to pop up on the screen or not, but someone asked, what is your favorite Disney park? And I think they mean like the parks inside the parks. And then also if you have a favorite Disney ride, like, is there a ride you go to immediately when you get there?
It's a loaded question. Listen, I'm a theme park nerd. I got another podcast, Majorland, with Chelsea Green. We talk about theme parks. One actual park, I would have to say the Disneyland park, I think has, with the inclusion of the Galaxy's Edge Star Wars Land, they have the best thing going today. They got all the classics. They got the Star Wars. They got rides like Indiana Jones. Mm-hmm. So Disneyland in California might be my number one, and it's the original.
Yeah. I've never been to Disney.
Favorite ride? Ooh, that's tough, man, because I view a ride on so many things. This is really deep down into nerd talk, but I want to see the ride from a distance. I want to anticipate it. You know what I'm saying? And then when I'm on that line, I want the queue. I want it to be themed properly. And then of course the ride has to be fun. And then I want to exit through a cool gift shop, a themed gift shop. So you need all 4 of those things. I think Tower of Terror checks
3,
all those
easy.
Boxes. But I'm gonna go with Tower of Terror for sure.
I'm a grown man and I've never been to any Disney theme park in my entire life.
Well,
I just went to Universal Studios. I know Brian jumps in. I've never been.
Jumped in on a single episode. I live in Disney's backyard in Orlando. You've never been to a Disney park, Battle?
Never been to a Disney park. I've been to Universal Studios and I've been to SeaWorld and Busch Gardens, but I never went to Disney when we were in Florida.
Matt, I apologize too. I understand the question. Having 4 Disney parks, you do have a favorite park if you're talking about Florida, but if you're talking about Disneyland, then it's Disneyland itself, right?
Right. If I were to go favorite park in Orlando, I would say Hollywood Studios.
Yeah. I've always loved the Hollywood Studios. I love the back lots. I love all that stuff. Yeah.
Man, so we'll kind of get to some more fan questions, and we'll throw them up here on the screen here. We'll go with our first fan question. I'll let you answer that. So they want to know, this is from Gerald Ryan, wants to know, are there any plans of doing a crossover where you show up to the GCW with the title on Impact tapings?
Listen, never say never, but as of now, that's not my plan. What I love about wrestling, and especially in 2021. I feel like there's so much going on, right? I mean, you
There
can watch
is.
wrestling on any night of the week, and these quote unquote independent shows are now, they're on Fight TV, they're streaming. You can watch them anywhere, anytime. So I feel like wrestling is so hot right now, and I feel like each promotion is its own universe. I feel like
Yeah.
like a superhero movie, going from universe to universe, where like the stories don't have to intertwine, they're its own thing everywhere. And that's what's so fun about it. Like I said, I can be me, GCW, be hated, and then walk into the impact zone and be beloved.
Yeah.
So as of now, there's no plan for me to cross it over, but money talks, baby. If Brad and Scott tomorrow want to pay me big bucks to do both, I'll do both.
Well, and you get that world champ money now too, so
Cha-ching, baby.
yeah.
And that lope.
So now that you've conquered GCW and you've kind of laid out your plans for Impact, you want Christian Cage for the world title. I mean, are there other plans? I mean, does New Japan interest you? AAA? I mean, like, are we doing a worldwide tour? Like, what are your thoughts?
Listen, my DMs are open. You know what I'm saying? So New Japan, AAA, NWA, NYWC, I don't care. If you want to bring me in, if you want to pad the lope, I'll think about it.
Yeah. Well, Chelsea, your fiance just had a big weekend with NWA, so that'd be interesting to see you guys.
She wrestled for the championship right away.
Yeah.
And that's how I would do the same thing. I would go to NWA to wrestle for the championship. Go big or go home. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and they just crowned a new champ, and I think Trevor was around when you were there too, right? Y'all crossed paths a little bit.
Yeah, I actually wrestled Trevor Murdoch in one of my first WWE matches, so it would be fun to mix it up all these years later. That's all I'm gonna say about that right now.
Yeah, right on the same page there.
So we've got another fan question, and this one's coming from Instagram, so we'll have a white background on it. But Punk Rock Ruined Me wants to know, how does it feel to finally be in creative control over your character?
I'm having the time of my life. This past year and a half since I got released, on paper should have been really bad at first. We were we're in the middle of this pandemic, right? But at the time, like, whole world was shut down. I couldn't even go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? And like, there was no place to wrestle. So I was sitting home and like not getting, eventually my WWE like 90 days and that money ran out. I'm like, what am I going to do? But luckily, with the major Wrestling for a Podcast, we were fine the whole time. It was something Brian and I created while in WWE. So that like exploded when the pandemic hit. We thought we'd be taking a hit. We're like, oh my God, who's going to want to talk about collectibles and buy collectibles during this pandemic? It was the opposite. People were buying and selling and flipping and investing. It was like, oh my God. And our business was booming. So the major Wrestling for a Podcast has blown up since this pandemic. And as soon as I was able to wrestle, I was wrestling. As soon as I got released, I had a Pro Wrestling Tee store up. This is what I love. I love wrestling. I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. So now I'm just doing everything I really wanted to do. And like I said, not everything I do is going to be a success. Some things have already been a failure, but that's how you learn. That's how you grow.
Yeah.
Is it interesting to see, how much power wrestlers have on the indie circuit now? Because I'm sure when you first started, it was nothing like this. I mean, the internet's obviously exploded and social apps and media and all that kind of stuff. I mean, indie wrestlers are their own brand now. And I mean, they can do the Square, the payments with their phones, and they've got the pro. I mean, it's nice to be in a huge company, but I mean, you don't have to have a company now anymore, right? I mean, you can do it yourself.
You absolutely do not, So I go to these indie shows, and of course I have my own merch table set up. And like you said, I have the Square, the credit card swipes, the cash. It's fun. It's fun to create these merch stand items. It's fun to interact with these fans. People, they're getting just, you go to listen. The access at WWE is great, right? But it's how many autographs can I sign in this 2-hour period? When these people come up, you get to have interaction with them, eye contact, talk to them. It's a lot of fun to meet these fans. And we do the same thing with the Major Wrestling podcast. We have these live shows and we have these meet and greets afterwards. And the meet and greet lasts longer than the actual show because we're just chatting with these people and hanging out, drinking. It's just been a lot of fun to connect with the people who brought us to the dance.
Right. Now, is there any chance that you guys are going to do a live show in Nashville? I know with the TV tapings coming up 17th, 18th, and 19th, has that kind of been on the table for you guys to do that?
It's something that just hasn't worked out, but we broke the news on the Major Wrestling Figure podcast last night that our 10th live show will be October 22nd in Las Vegas, the night before Bound for Glory. So if people want to double dip, if they want to come see Live 10 and then Bound for Glory, it's the perfect destination, Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's our 10th live show. So it's going to be absolutely insane.
Speaking of real quick insane, how was it to get back into wrestling and having fans there after wrestling a couple matches with no fans?
It's night and day because pro wrestling, the art of pro wrestling involves the fans.
For sure.
So to do it with no fans, I mean, I got used to it, but it was so strange, to hear like your breathing and to hear your own grunts. And it's like, oh man, it was odd. But I needed that because I'm sure a lot of people will back me up on this. It just gives you that extra adrenaline, that extra oomph,
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, a lot of people compare it to, it's almost like a play, but then the actors do their own stunts, but
Sure.
I mean, that's not a great comparison because wrestling, the crowd is like the third, the third person in the ring really. And I mean, you kind of take your cues from them. And I mean,
Sure. It's like, if you went to a concert, if you were a musician, you're playing with no people.
Right. Yeah. Or they're just sitting there like this, not clapping, and it's just silence. And
but the show had to go on. Everyone did what they had to do. And if you actually look back at it, I think Impact was the first company who made this pandemic era wrestling look good on television.
They did real good.
The hard cam to the entranceway. You look, every company followed that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It was funny how WWE almost overnight looked like Impact like that. They, and it was
Impact was a trendsetter.
Yeah. Yeah. Impact's done a lot of stuff over in their history that I don't think they get credit for. And I think probably, in the next 5 to 10 years, you're really going to start looking back and like, wow, Impact, they've done this, all that. So,
I mean, them putting Impact on Twitch was phenomenal. That was the smartest thing ever.
That was, very future thinking for that for sure. What was yes. So Bound for Glory. I mean, what do you think's next in Impact? Do you think you need to, make a statement, or do you need to what do you think you need to do to kind of be in front of Scott and say, look, Christian's the world champ. I'm the GCW world champ. I mean, when's my shot? What do you think you need to do to kind of get the foot in the door?
I think I have more than proved myself in Impact. And Bro Heat right now has been the thorn in my side, and I'm sure I'll shut him up soon. And then after that, I mean, what's next? I mean, listen, Josh Alexander, X Division champion, hell of a talent. And I would love to mix it up with him, but I didn't come here for the X Division championship. I didn't come here. Could Brian and I get back together and go for the tag? Sure. That's easy. I didn't come here for that. I came here to be the Impact World Champion. So, I know I deserve it. And listen, I'm not here to jump ahead of anyone who's been waiting, but I'm here to jump ahead of anyone who's been waiting.
It's your time. It is your time right now. And of course, you're in good company because, like I said, everybody that's been on the show has gone on to win the gold. So, we're going to go ahead and say that there will be Impact Wrestling title around your waist by the end of this year because you've been on the show.
I would certainly hope so.
And we'll grease the wheel and we'll pay Ross and Scott all of them to make sure it happens. Well, Matt, one last thing. Is there anything you want to tell everybody before we let you go?
Oh my God. Not really. I have so much stuff to plug. If I were
plug everything you want,
we'd have another 30 minutes here.
Yeah,
Just follow me on social media at the Matt Cardona. Make sure you watch Impact on Access TV. Make sure you go to these Impact tapings because the Impact roster It's a hard-working roster. The men and women are busting their ass every single night, doing 2 tapings a day, and busting their ass for the fans. So please come check it out. And now you have 50 tickets, so you better.
And now, you can hang out with us and the what do we want to call the zone? Because the Good Brothers called it the good section. Are we going to call it like the hot mess section, or what do you want to call it?
Hot mess section, sure, yeah, why not?
All right. Well, you and a guest can sit with us at the Impact tapings. We're going to be sitting there on the September 18th, the nighttime taping. So thanks to Matt for donating those tickets, not out of his paycheck, by the way.
No.
And we will see you guys in Nashville.